let's see. Oh, now we're working. Okay. Well, sorry about that. Everyone, I appreciate you tuning in to another Flash Hour. What we got on the docket for this week, as usual, is the state of the trenches, what we got done this week. There's a brief overview of something we'd like to highlight that's worked in there. And of course, what the roadmap looks like or what's coming next. So that is the last segment, which is always my favorite segment that I love to get into because we get to pontificate on things that we will be doing into the near future. But other than that, let's jump right in. Sir, how are you doing?
Pretty good. GM everyone. Hope I'm audible.
We're good to go. Jumping into it, let me get my prompter up here. I actually have a prompter, guys. It's real. Actually, it's true. The word around town is true. All right. So, state of the trenches. Well, not looking great as far as tokens, but everything else. Everything else is looking great. Total Solana monthly token holders is actually up to a new all-time high, 167 million, which in the grand scheme of things, if you really think about it, not that much. Solana Foundation established Stride and CERN to enforce DeFi security. So this is also kind of like a permissioned access program that will be given to kind of the top protocols to make sure that these hacks, exploits do not happen and can be monitored 24/7 with their own proprietary security, monitoring service that they're using.
Yeah, I think it's a very good direction overall because we needed external parties to have an overview of what is going on in terms of security because, like, to be honest, when you do a true audit, it's actually done by external parties, not by internal teams by themselves. Because when you are doing internally, you'll always have your own biases and you'll overlook things, or you might not see things as important as they are. And when you have someone who's looking at things from an external view and being more pessimistic, then I think things can be done very well. But overall, there is this issue that the ecosystem is actually trying to focus on, is like pushing Circle to freeze assets as soon as possible. But I think they are pushing back on the demand. And like if you compare with Tether, who mints USDT, which is USD Tether, they follow up very faster if you highlight about any of the hack details. They'll try to freeze those addresses in less than 10 to 15 minutes once their criterias are met. But with USDC and Circle, they have a very different view on this, and they actually want a court order to be issued from the financial districts of New York, basically, and then depending on the jurisdictions, where the order is coming up from. And I'm sure everyone knows how slow the judiciary department is overall anywhere in the world. So I don't think that is a possible way to enforce anything in DeFi, because here things move in less than a second. And even if you check what happened with Drift, the signing of the admin transfer transaction, it was done in a second, and everything was wiped out after that. So yeah, we are talking in seconds and milliseconds. So we'll have to push more on Circle to make things stricter. But if we don't see that happening, I think we'll see a mass number of people leaving the USDC based stablecoin for stable coins that are much more faster to adapt things.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, it's the. I mean, these were probably always going to be kind of growing pains when it comes to a legacy system adopting kind of the next financial rails. So some of that more or less was inevitably going to happen. But man, it definitely is. It sucks, and that kind of shortfall of the legacy system is now affecting the new financial system and all of the kind of quote unquote guardrails that slow everything down. So yeah, I mean that's essentially what's happening here is the old system slowing down the new. But moving on from that, USDC did enable cross-chain forwarding to Solana for Circle, CCTP, and BridgeKit. So essentially allowing for bridging of USDC across all crypto or blockchains, I should say. Pre-stock, this is something Panda brought up. This is a big one. Pre-stock hits new all-time high with 29 million in daily volume. So pre-stock was always one I was super interested in. I never understood why it didn't get a lot of traction at first, but
I think, there is one more thing that people might be missing is like there is not that much liquidity that is available to buy these pre-stock tokens. You can't buy straightforward $100,000 to $200,000 worth of these tokens because the liquidity is limited and overall the structure is limited itself because these pre-stocks are issued from people who have invested in these tokens, which are in companies which are not public yet, and they are basically issuing a very different way of these assets so that people can get some sort of price discovery happening. Overall, the system is not that much capable of fulfilling demand, but it's a very interesting way of participating in a company before it goes public.
Interesting. So basically, these are private shares being shared publicly to interested individuals. And to be fair, stocks on chain actually don't really have that much liquidity either. So again, early days. But
I think there's a difference here. Like if you check what Xstocks or Ondo is offering, they are offering option to buy tokens, which is directly connected to a broker, which has great amount of liquidity because they have all sourcing from the main book where everything is actually traded for. So if you want to buy shares worth million or 2 million or 5 million for publicly listed companies who have a very high market cap, you can actually buy it on chain. But if we compare that to these options, it's not possible because there is actually limited amount assets already issued by the guy who holds a private share in this company.
Cool.
And overall, it's kind of hard to price these things as well, I'm sure, like because it's all based on their last round which they raised on, right? So these are not tradable things, but I think DeFi is about
discovery, and
there is like it all depends on demand and the way markets move. So because you can see Anthropic, it actually went up like 15x since it was available on chain to be bought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Well, would have liked to get in on that. Titan Exchange deployed Dart routing. We mentioned this last time, but it is a really interesting innovation. I just saw a little podcast on it, along with the Harmonic podcast that came out as well. I believe the Harmonic guys. And both of them are doing really interesting things on chain, offering the best possible prices and creating competition. A lot of the 2025-ish, 2024, we really had the decisive winners in these areas, both of these areas actually. And now we have competitors that have risen to the challenge, like Titan against Jupiter, and then Harmonic against Jito, I guess you would say. That's kind of the button heads a little bit on some things.
I think the problem with having custom block delivery is like it would only be turned on when the validator which this custom client is being run on can be used. Other
Yeah.
than that, other validators who are on different clients won't be possible to use the same feature that is, what we're talking about, streaming block delivery or configurable scheduling strategies. This
Mhm.
will only be running when the validators become leaders who are running these clients.
Yeah.
But if there are other validators who are coming up with different clients, you won't be able to execute this strategy. And this is the main limitation that we are seeing on Solana. Reason why we are working hard on our V2 implementation, which basically scraps all these things
It does.
without having any downsides of being not being on Solana.
Yeah, it's like it's bizarre because it's like fragmented and
Yep.
doesn't and different validators are running different clients and yeah, it's super. I honestly am completely confused and have no idea. Validators to me, the whole like if you are into crypto and you think crypto's
Mhm.
really cool and you're like, oh, I love all the tech, you move into the validator space and it's like an entirely different world. All right. And I've actually gone during the break point and things like that. I actually try to educate myself and go to some of these speaking events for the validators. And man, it is like it's like gibberish. I wish I could say I was smart enough to understand everything they're saying, but I am not. But
Nice.
yes, moving on to Super Team presents the Solana.new. And this is a really interesting one because they teamed up with Super Team overall. So like not a specific region or anything, but just Super Team. I don't know what they call it, like HQ or something. And
Mhm.
Send AI. And they developed this dev kit that packs in 150 plus skills, MCP and CLI. And actually, hopefully you got the notification in Telegram. We've already shipped our PR to this. I think it was just a few hours after they released it. I already had everything packed up, shipped, and the PR's there. So hopefully that will land soon. Flash Trade will be a part of it. What a great kit for anybody participating in the hackathon or anybody just getting into the space. But even if you're just a trader or things like that, they do have like, from what I delved through, they have like trading strategies and things of that nature in the skills repo, and some MCP, obviously, endpoints for also trading. So it's really cool kit if you want to check it out. That's at Solana.new, and that's by Super Team and Send AI. So I thought that'd be an awesome addition to State of the Trenches. Manifest Trade launches permissionless options markets with calls and puts on any token. Could be interesting but dangerous. No?
Yep. Given they have an order system, you can have an order book for the options market.
Of
So I
course.
think they are wrapping the contracts and then pricing the contracts on their order book. So each
Mm.
contract would represent X amount of tokens, and these contracts are tradable on an order book. I think that is the system that they're using. I haven't checked it out yet, but understood. No worries, no worries. And yep, very interesting. And talking about Manifest, we actually have full support of Manifest order book on Flash's
I
spot.
was I was going to drop that in. We do have a really freaking awesome video, as well as how everything for Manifest for the limit orders are on desktop and mobile. Walks you through. It's got some cool music playing with it. I'm just saying, I might have done that. Little kudos to myself. But yes, Manifest is also live on Flash Trade right now for all your spot trading needs. And by the way, I don't know, it's just like not used enough, but Flash Trade's pro dashboard, dude, rivals anyone's pro dashboard. Okay. We're pros here. The dashboard is sick. And if you actually do spot trade a lot or swing trade with spot, try out the Manifest order book. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And everything on the pro dashboard suits regular spot traders' needs. So everything you need for trading in one spot. Now, Securitize partnered with Currents Group, I guess it's like a NASDAQ, so Cure, to tokenize its shares on Solana. The only reason I included that was actually just kind of a reminder to myself, was that things are being tokenized like daily. It's pretty wild. They're moving really, really, really fast. Tokenization is, I think so many people have left the space, so many normies, and they're really going to miss out on the big picture here. And it's that the entire financial system is being revamped, or I don't know what the heck they call it, but redone and moved on chain. We've even seen mortgages be done now in the US, and like all kinds of different things. Contracts be settled on the blockchain. So there's a lot of things that are moving very, very quickly. So it's good to keep your eye on what is actually happening on the ground. And that is it for the state of the trenches. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think that's it. It's good.
All right. Now moving into the overview. If you could see here. Sheesh, what's that?
That's V2. Interesting. So, yep. The team is pretty much day in, day out internally testing the V2 deployment, which is powered by MagicBlocks. And to be honest, it's the dream that we always had, which is like trading on a DEX with a SEX experience. It's all here. There is no transaction costs. There is no delay. The delay will only be there if your internet speed is slow, which is like anything that you touch on internet. And all the sweet number of assets that you want on Flash at one place, because now we don't have any limitations as such that we used to have on the mainnet. Now, I think that is where we are trying to focus on, is like what interesting assets we can go live with. And there is a very interesting conversation that is happening behind the scenes about having fees or no fees on Flash Trade. Just imagine having no fees on your trades.
No fees whatsoever. That would be pretty interesting. Just throwing it out there. Pretty interesting. But the other thing is too, a lot of people with MagicBlock, or V2, with V2 is the fact that now, these things are. It is so. I wish I could like show it, but I guess I could. But, unfortunately, my limitations at the moment, being in the US. But the big thing is that like it's instant, guys. It is insanely fast. I don't know what the heck. I think it is. Look, I think once you get down past a certain level of speed, the human that's on the other end, it's imperceivable. Like it's ridiculously fast. And the crazy part is the thing that I genuinely love the most, and I've liked this about other platforms, not, but the big thing was that no confirmation. That is amazing. I mean, if I want to get into a trade, I don't have to fumble around and quickly do XYZ to get into a trade. It's instant. I'm in. It already executed. That is amazing to me. And then the other thing I want you to expand on is the architecture in which we have now, as in V2, we will be able to list
anything.
Yeah, I mean, this was the moment we've all been waiting for with Flash Trade. This is it. This is
and a lot of people might be questioning this thing, like what is actually taking this much time? It's all about the seamless experience. So we don't want people to think they are leaving their ecosystem or even doing anything that is different from what they are actually doing on chain. So right from your Phantom wallet, Backpack wallet, or any interesting wallet that you love to use, you just click on Flash Trade and use as it is. You won't feel any change. If you're a Solana user, and if you are a user that's coming on blockchain, it would just feel like you trading on your favorite exchange or a broker without any hindrances.
I mean, you go to any of these exchanges right now. Is it like? I'm gonna be honest. I'm really terrible.
Without any KYC.
Yeah. Well, that, oh yeah, that's the big one. No KYC, no nonsense to get onboarded. But the other was it Bluefin? I don't know. I'm terrible with decentralized. But anyway, I've done it once, and I remember how much of a pain in the neck it was. And then I had to like transfer money to like a specific account, and then I had to transfer it to my after you transfer it to like the overarching account, then you have to transfer it to your trading account, and it was like this whole shenanigans around like how to eventually end up trading. And then I had to KYC, wait for that, all that good stuff. But that whole centralized experience, this is way better than a centralized experience. Will you have to deposit? Yeah. Will it take 2 seconds? Yeah. Are you going to be able to trade instantly right after that? Yeah. I mean, it's that simple. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like incredibly straightforward. So for me, I don't know. I got super excited once I got hands on with it. And, but yeah, I mean, the experience is like no other that I've personally, like when I say this, I mean, this is genuine because I would tell the truth. I don't know of any other exchange that's offered this. I literally don't know. Besides potentially Hyperliquid, maybe. But even then, you have like a few hoops to jump through before you can trade. The Flash Trade integration V2 is so insanely seamless. And then by the time it rolls out, the UI is going to feel like just any, as smooth as butter. I mean, you all expect that from Flash Trade, so we'll deliver on it. But yes, V2, super excited. All right. And then, yes, we've done the testing. So MagicBlock is, it says MagicBlock in testing, but V2,
I think
MagicBlock V2.
on that, yeah, I think the one thing that I want to expand on is like what we are trying to work on right now is having a strategy to go live with it, because we just don't want to go live just like that with it. We want something to be offered from our side, which makes it worthy for you to even try it first time or stick around with it forever. So that is where we are working on, having a very interesting strategy to go live with it, with the possible UI upgrades, and that is where the majority of the time is going on. And with that, also trying to close in any of the gaps, because this is a totally fresh deployment overall. There is nothing that is what we have before. Everything like back end, front end, programs, everything is fresh. So we are basically, as the thing says, testing in it always possible.
And the other thing that people have to realize is like how much of a monumental shift this was. Number one is this is completely novel. Okay.
Yes.
Never been done before. Number two, this is a complete full stack from validator all the way up to what you see. All controlled by us. So this whole dealio here, well, besides like RPC, but the whole thing's controlled by us. So, well, not controlled by us, but built by us, I should say, all the way through. So it's like the whole thing was built from the ground up off of this idea of you. And it was just an idea by Anas, by the way. When this original concept came through, it was literally an idea by Anas. I actually believe he was the one who pointed it out to MagicBlock that this would be a great innovation for trading.
Possible innovation. Yep.
Yeah. And so
speed, I think
full on implementation.
For sure. Stepping back and like seeing the current situation in Solana, if you can see like the major questions and the problems is around transaction delivery, transaction confirmation times, and transaction costs. And given any blockchain would want to be in a decentralized situation, you'll always have leaders or validators from different regions in the world with different internet connections running different clients to get maximum money for their investment. And I sincerely believe infra for an exchange needs to be custom built and be for the exchange itself. You cannot run a full-fledged exchange on a public blockchain. It's not possible. And there will always be situations of this cat and mouse games where you try to solve for one thing and one thing will open up. And that is what we have seen countless times across the ecosystem. be it Drift and now upcoming exchanges like Phoenix. Although we will talk about interesting articles and all that, but underlying issues are there where,
Yeah.
uh, no matter how much CUs you go
Optimized
low
for.
to optimize for, imagine Solana starts serving more, then you start going back to
The
step one
bottleneck.
where you'll have the issues of your transaction not landing, or might be around RPCs or the different clients that are going around on Solana.
100%.
So, yep, I think so. We just moved out of that, cat and mouse game and wanted to have a serious infrastructure upgrade overall. And it has took our own sweet time, but we are very confident about what we are shipping towards.
Yeah, I literally have never been more confident than when seeing this implementation like live in my hands. I got so excited. Yeah, kind of freaked out. The V2 was just like a massive step forward for Solana. It's the big thing is like it's what Solana has been asking for so long. The
Yes.
next obviously logical step, I would say, is like order books. I mean, it is the next kind of iterative logical step forward. But at this time, I mean, this is literally everything Solana has been asking for. I would say the order books is possibly the only thing that is left to tick off on that list. But I mean, this is pull-to-peer innovation. We're actually innovating. We're not creating something that's already been created just in a new Jenga way where we're putting the blocks together differently. This is completely new. And I don't know. I'm proud to be a part of the Flash Trade team when you're talking about this level of innovation in such a novel area. But moving into how you can benefit is a full developer tooling. So now we do have, obviously we're pushing it out to distribution channels, but this is available in our docs now. You can download, or install whatever you would like. We have the CLI client, which I've actually just improved a few days ago. I shipped a new improvement that just helped. It was like a retry mechanism and things. So just helped things land a little bit better. And then for the MCP, obviously that has been available. I think I talked about it last time. That is an awesome one. You can just MPX install. We've also made it incredibly simple. I have been very diligent about the pre-prompts to the actual call so that the AI or agent, whoever you're using, knows exactly like what it's getting into, how to make it work, and if there is an error, how does it handle it? So I've been very diligent about how to actually implement that. It's super smooth, and we've had quite a few people give us feedback. And as that feedback comes in, we'll just make it better and better. The last thing is we do have the API. So if you're actually looking for like a direct integration with your platform, you want an API, that is also available. So if you're actually looking to integrate Flash Trade, which would be awesome, we'd love to see that. The API endpoints are available, again, all in the docs, skill files in the docs. Literally anything that you need to develop and or use Flash Trade is in our docs and available for you. So that's why we say full developer tooling is available. And we're always looking for feedback. So if you've got something that you would like, you don't see it, let us know. Session-based trading, that's on you, Anas.
Yes, this is another improvement that we are working on the MagicBlocks V2 deployment, where since people hate clicking buttons every now and then, you'll just have to click buttons at the beginning just as you sign up on an exchange, where with your wallet we will basically verify that you are the owner of this wallet through signatures, and that's it. In that session itself, you would never have to click any other confirmation button. The important part here is like when you are coming through browser based extensions such as Phantom, Soulflare, or Backpack, you'll always have to click the automated no confirmation thing in their
Yeah,
uh,
wallet.
wallet. But with the session based system, we handle that for you.
Mhm.
We don't ask Phantom to do auto confirmation. You'll just have to give the confirmation at the beginning, and that's it. Basically bypasses all the things on that these wallets are trying to herd the users towards.
Mhm.
So this is a very neat improvement. I think it took us like a good around a week to implement it end to end, but we are very happy with the feature as it is, and we have actually made it default. Basically, when you log in, you we create a session for you, and that's it. You don't have to do anything after that. It's just click and things are done. So yeah, the most interesting part is like if we look back to this feature like just a year ago, every transaction on Solana used to cost about at least a penny or 5 cents depending on the priority fees that you pay, and then you'll always had that anxiety of your transaction not going through or things happening against you. But
Yeah,
now
true.
we are confidently able to use the same infra, give you the same decentralization aspect without any you know issues that you used to face before. So basically this is a very leap forward improvement overall, because the underlying structure that people trusted is there. Your transactions are landing on the blockchain, everything is happening as it should, but the experience is what you love to have across any other platform.
Yeah, I mean, session-based, trading, it's just gonna make life easier. So I mean, it's a quality of life upgrade that is very nice.
Yep.
Lower
And
collateralization unlocks liquidity. That's a big
yes,
topic.
this is a
And
yep,
that's the pool dependent, I'm guessing. That's not like across the
yes,
board kind of thing. Okay.
it's not across the board. So this is something that we have done testing overall, like in the last month or so, where, as I said before, like we have gone through all situations except death. So and through that experiences we are able to understand what sort of collateralization that we can give on each asset. And if
Mhm.
even if you check now, the liquidity has grown a lot, even though the tvl is at where it used to be, but now you have this insane amount of available liquidity per asset that traders can take advantage of now and have a bigger position and open interest open across the platform. And with the improvements that we are working on the v2 deployment, will have much more lower collateralization ratio, which will unlock much more liquidity for people to trade without worrying to have more tvl in the protocol.
Yeah. Yeah, we've kept
And
it
this basically makes
purposely high for
everything
a while.
more, yeah, and this makes everything more capital efficient as well, so your dollars are working harder for you and making more money for everyone.
Yeah. And this isn't like some whimsical thing that we're just waving around and pretending like there's, oh, we just created more. No, it's we have all the data available to us. So we can see at what threshold is acceptable. And after 2 years now, 2 years, is that
Yes,
right? 2 years? Okay.
yes, I think
Uh, we have
we should
2 years
also try
of
to,
data.
yeah, we should highlight this thing, with Claude. Every transaction or everything that is touching Flash's program is being looked at.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
also very interesting thing that is happening, where due to the advances in the model LLM models, we as developers are able to extract more knowledge and simulate
Yeah.
more things. And with our added advantage, we are able to come up with more advanced systems, which will unlock much more better experiences for people who want to trade
Yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
exchange. So this is actually the unlock of these LLM models, that we are able to do such sort of things.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind the models are, obviously extremely smart on their own, but they're pretty dumb when it comes to not having any context or any data. So if you're
Yes.
a brand new exchange, you don't have the data that we have. You also don't have the context that we have that we can add to the LLM model, which again doesn't really function that well and is essentially a really, really, really good autocomplete without context and data.
Yeah.
With that context and data, you could get extraordinary results. So, and obviously here at Flash Trade, we're leveraging that to our advantage and to the platform's advantage. So yes, 2 years of data is a big deal when it comes to evaluating the safety parameters around that. So unlocked liquidity. All right. And Passkey feature, that's a pretty straightforward one. Gone over it a few times. Passkey like your phone or on your Mac. Do they have that on Android? I feel retarded. I don't know. Is that
I think
that's like an Apple thing, right? Oh, they do have it? Okay.
No, Google have added it. Yeah.
Gotcha. So
Although
yeah,
it's not seamlessly available as it's available on Apple.
Yeah, more. I think it was more of an Apple innovation. So yeah, probably a little bit better integrated into Apple. But we'll be adding Passkey to the Flash Trade platform. And around what features are you talking about with Passkey? Just like wallet, or that's with Privy and everything else?
Yep.
Gotcha. And then MagicBlock Alpha Group.
Yes.
You want to talk to that?
I think, yeah. We would be forming a very interesting, neat group of power users of Flash who would be able to use the V2 deployment, which actually be useful for these powerful power users, because the fees and the leverage would be something that you haven't seen anywhere else. And I'm sure the power users of Flash and anywhere else who trade with volume would be very, very willing to use this, because at the end of the day, the fees that you pay matters a lot towards your P&L. And thanks to the latency that we are unlocking, we wouldn't need that much amount of fees to overcome things. And if you are interested to try out this model, please reach us out and we would be giving out the experience very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Alpha Group, I'm just going to call you the Alpha Group. Alpha Group with Flash Trade V2. It'll be super interesting to see. You might as well just consider me a part of that cohort. I was one of the power users of Flash Trade before joining the team. So still a power user, believe it or not. Interesting. But yeah, I'll be in there and we'll be discussing one-on-one and working through, any things you like, dislike. But the Alpha Group, you guys know who you are. You show up every single week. As a matter of fact, all right, you show up every single week to Flash Hour. And we greatly appreciate it. And of course, this is just one way. We've done this before in the past. Matter of fact, before I was here, this was something that we did where the Alpha Group was pulled aside and, went through a pre-deployment kind of thing before it even went into like beta or main or on main. So it should be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. And then we definitely need to work out some rollout strategies. Maybe Alpha Group would be a part of that. But yeah, funding mechanism, that's kind of on hold. Obviously, we've talked about that. Zahib has talked about that as well.
But one thing that I want to talk about is like, although we are telling it's on hold, the simulations are running. We are making much more, getting more understanding as time passes on best ways to implement and the best parameters that could be used. So nothing is stopped in that direction, but we are just prioritizing what is more important for this time, and V2 deployment is more important. And I'm sure a lot of users would be very, very hungry to use this thing.
Yeah, the whiteboard mental models have not stopped, but yeah, the implementation has not been done yet. Essentially, MagicBlock has to be there. We have to make sure everything's completely rolled out with that, and then the next phase or iteration moves forward. And what's really cool is because again, by the way, I'm just saying we got to start having a board behind you. The board has to say what Flash Trade did first.
You can just see there is a board here if you're able to see that.
It just needs to be like Flash Trade did this
and
first.
And there is a board here, and there is a board here. I have two boards beside me.
I need a big, huge whiteboard behind
I can pull this board behind me if you want.
Yeah, it's like flash trades did this first, this first, this first, this first. Matter of fact, I put out a tweet here recently with the whole what flash trade did first. I probably missed a few things, to be honest, but did my best to think it all through. But funding mechanism in this manner would be, again, a first and novel concept that has never been in the blockchain space or pool to peer space. So again, very, very cool. More real world assets. So this is facilitated by MagicBlock. So this will be obviously something that we are very cognizant of, with the idea of us not being a crypto exchange. We're just an exchange. We're a perp dex. We're not we're just a decentralized perp dex. That's it, right? We're not crypto agnostic or whatever you call it. We're really moving towards Flash Trade is the #1 decentralized perp exchange. So yeah. And then we're going to be offering all assets. As you can already see, we already have commodities, we already have Forex, we've already moved into those spaces, but we're going to expand on those offerings for every single one of those domains.
As much as possible.
As much as possible. As demand increases, for sure. And we do expect that to ramp up. But everyone, thank you so much for joining. There are a few things I would love you to do. If you can, leave a like, leave a comment, and of course, repost this if you're on X. If you are joining in on YouTube, which we have seen an uptick on, smash the like button. Leave a comment for us for the algorithm. It greatly helps us get our message out there and helps get your favorite exchange out into the ecosystem, wherever that is, apparently only on X. But yeah, we greatly appreciate everyone. If you can give us a follow on X and possibly subscribe to YouTube. If you don't technically watch on YouTube all the time, just to get us into the algo, it would be great if you can hit the subscribe button. And that way, maybe it even sends you a notification when we go live, give you a little extra reminder there so you don't miss a flash hour. And Nasa, do you want to end off with anything?
Yep. I think the most important thing for us right now is, like, if you are a power user of Perpetual Exchange, please reach us out on X or join our Discord and let us know. And we would be giving out this passes for our V2 deployment, which will have fees and leverage that is not possible anywhere else.
Yes, let's go. All right. Well, sir, I'll see you soon, I'm sure, in the daily stand-up.
Yep. See
Talk
you
soon.
then.
All right. So as you heard him say, if you are a power user of Flash, maybe you've never been in Discord, maybe you don't really interact with us on X, now's the time to get involved. If you want to be a part of the alpha group who will be testing the biggest deployment in Flash Trade history and in, frankly, Solana history, where we're pushing the boundaries of what is possible on chain, jump in, join into the Discord, raise your hand, and obviously we're going to verify it, but jump in there and then Flash. If you do actually end up staking some FAF, maybe you already have it staked. Again, maybe you've never been on Discord, make sure you verify, and that will allow you access to a private chat where all of the FAF stakers kind of get together, and we have a much more meaningful and you have much more access to the team itself. You can always ping me or any other team member in the Discord space. But we greatly appreciate your time. I will not take up any more of your Monday, as I'm sure there is a lot for you to do today. And as always, traders, I'll see you in the markets.